Hello everyone, and thank you again for tuning in to another video with Stay Away with Narcs. I appreciate all you guys that have subscribed. I see the community is growing, so I really truly appreciate you guys sharing the love and spreading the love of these videos. And you know, we want to heal, and we want to be able to get this word out to other people in order to heal narcissistic abuse and the sufferers of narcissistic abuse. So I really appreciate it. If you are just new to this channel, just tuning in, go ahead, you can hit that subscribe button. I like to put out new videos every week regarding narcissism and narcissistic abuse. And if you want to go ahead and hit that notification bell to receive updates, go ahead and do that now. We appreciate your time and your love. Thank you very much. So now for today's new video that I'm going to be putting out, I wanted to do another video specifically on the narcissistic mother-in-law, and I have the part 1 and 2 of the abusive tactics of the narcissistic mother-in-law and 12 things a narcissistic mother-in-law may do to you. So if you haven't checked those out, you could go ahead and check them out now. But for this specific video, I want to go into my own personal experience, and I've actually, heard a lot of people talk about these things also. Specifically when a narcissistic mother-in-law, especially, highly toxic, malignant, because I had a malignant narcissistic mother-in-law. And again, narcissism is on a spectrum. The more toxic and the more narcissistic they are, the more likely they're going to be doing these cruel, abusive, sadistic tactics to you to set you up, to make you look like a fool, to just batter you and abuse you down. So again, it is on a spectrum, and not all narcissistic mother-in-laws or narcissists in general will do these things, but again, it is on a spectrum. And I've heard a lot of stories about this occurring and happening, and in my specific case it also happens. So narcissistic mother-in-laws, especially those highly toxic ones, again, they want to set you up to make you look, especially in front of the family, they want to set you up to make you look like you're going to be a no good spouse, a no good girlfriend, a no good this, a no good that. Especially if you're that daughter-in-law. If you were a son-in-law and this happened to you, go ahead and leave your stories in the comments. We definitely want to hear that. But I'm going to explain it from my own point of view here. And they want to set you up to make you look like you're disrespectful, that you have no respect, that you don't know what you're doing. They just want to make you look bad in front of the family, especially if you're on their radar, and they want to scapegoat you, and they're getting ready to discard you. And usually with narcissistic mother-in-laws, they have that pathological envy and jealousy. And the better of a person you are, and the more compassionate and the more kind and the more respectful person you are, they want to be able to tear you down to make you seem like you're the opposite of that. They want to batter you down to make it seem like that you are like them, right? They don't want to see anybody doing better than them, especially somebody that's going to spend the rest of their life with their child. They get pathologically jealous, and they have to find a way to tear you down. Especially that malignant narc mother-in-law. She will find a way to tear you down to make you look dumb. She's not only going to smear you, but she will literally do this. And a specific way I'm going to talk about the way she did this to me, and I've heard this happen to others, is that, especially in front of the family, she will try to invite you last minute to family functions. Okay, and I'm talking about family functions that are pretty big, that are going to be like 50 plus people, that are going to be like really important. She will invite you last minute, and when I say last minute, I'm talking 24 hours or less, right? And for some type of function, that it's going to be with a lot of people, and you want to make a good impression, especially if you never met these people before, you want to prepare yourself, you want to look good, you want to make sure you got a nice outfit, or you done your hair, you're on the right page, and that you even have time. Like, you may be working that day, you may have like other plans planned out, right? But of course that narcissistic mother-in-law is not going to care, because she doesn't have empathy for you, and she only cares about her stuff. So she doesn't care. And she purposely does this, invites you at the last minute to make you look like a fool in front of others, okay? And I'll get into some more specific reasons. Okay, but she will invite you last minute, and then she'll act like nothing is wrong, right? Specifically, for example, there was a time she invited me, it was about 2 or 3 hours before this, this family function, this family dinner was about to go on. And she's like, and she actually sent her son, which was my, my ex, my fiance at the time. He was like, well, it's 2 hours. We're going to get ready to go. I'll come pick you up because we have a family dinner. And I'm like, wait a minute. Nobody told me about this. It is very, and they do this on purpose. They invite you 2 to 3 hours before a very, some type of family function or some type of party or anything. So you either come up and show up looking like a mess because you have to hurry up and rush to get ready. They want to rush the heck out of you. They don't have time for you, right? Or they either do this so you tell them, oh, I'm busy, And if you actually are busy, which obviously you can be busy at that time, because if you give somebody a 2 to 3 hour phone call, hey, we're having a family party, I'm gonna come pick you up, and you're like, wait a minute, I have something to do. What are you talking about? Why didn't you tell me about this like yesterday? Why didn't you tell me about this like last week? What is going on 2 or 3 days ago? At least. And they're like, but it's family and you have to do it for family. They'll give some lame ass excuse, right? That you have to do it because they said so and you have to do it on their time. See, another thing about the narcissist, now that I brought that up, is they don't care about your time. Just like they don't care about your boundaries, they're not going to care about your time or what you have to do or the things that you want to do and, when you have to do it. You're on the narcissist schedule, okay? Especially that narc mother-in-law. When that another narc mother-in-law wants you to jump, she's going to tell you to jump, okay? This is why they are so cruel and sadistic and messed up. They don't have time for your time. They want everything to run on their schedule the way there it is, and it always has to be their way, right? So this narc mother-in-law telling my ex-fiance to call me up 2 to 3 hours and that he's going to pick me up before this thing started, I was taken aback. I was like, wait a minute. I was about to tell him and I was truly, honestly, I was not even feeling good that day to introduce myself to people and to be in front of people. And especially if you're an introvert too, right? Because us introverts, we need mental time to prepare for these type of things. Not only, getting our external, physical situation sorted out with our hair, our makeup, the outfit that we want to put on and whatever. But introverts, we need mental time to get that under wraps, and luckily I was not busy, but I was not even feeling good, but I was like, okay, so I was forced into it. And during this time, especially, I was more on the codependent end. So I was sort of a doormat, and thank God I'm not in that position anymore. I was sort of the doormat in that relationship that was when you tell me go and I'll go, and that's exactly, you have to be careful with narcissists because that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you on their time. When they say go, you go. When they say sit, you sit. It's nothing. They don't care about your time. They don't care about your hearsay, because if you have a problem with their schedule, then you're going to have a problem with them. And this is exactly what happened in my case with my narcissistic mother-in-law. So fortunately, that day I was like, let me just go. I was upset and pissed off. And again, my passive aggressiveness was in me. And that's another bad thing about being a codependent, is that you're constantly resentful and passive aggressive because you do not want to assert yourself. I could have easily said listen, I don't feel good and I'm not going to go. And it shouldn't have been that big of a problem. But with narcissists, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. And you get on their radar and they start to mess with you and abuse you even more. But that day, I was a doormat and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm going to follow what they say. I'm going to follow what this narc mother-in-law and her son, had told me to do. Because he's also a doormat to his mother, so he's listening to her every whim. So I went, I got that day over with. But I noticed there was a pattern in the way that she would do this, right? Because that was the first time. But it also happened before I ended the relationship. It happened numerous times that she would literally invite me last minute or tell her son to invite me last minute. Okay, on purpose, for the same reasons, to make me look dumb, to make me look like I didn't want to be around the family, specifically. because there was a second time that they did that. And after the first time, I was like, wait a minute, no. You invited me again 2 or 3 hours. And mind you, it was a Sunday. I was trying to do a self-care day. I was working 5 days a week at a really stressful job. And I was like, I need a day of self-care. And especially as an introvert, again, like I said, I'm not going to be going, 2 to 3 hours late again. Like I needed that day. Like mentally, I was in a state of mind that was just exhausted. And that's another reason why the narcissist will invite you late and will make a big fuss out of you not going, is because they want to mentally burn you out. They want to mentally burn you out. Because when it comes to them, right, not going to those family functions, they'll say no. They'll be like, no, I'm not going. I don't have time today. But if you say no, oh God, it's a problem. God is a problem. And how do I know that? I know that because she and her son had the most hissy fit that I did not. I said no, that I didn't want to go, that I was going to take a self-care day. I was really exhausted from work. You could tell he had passive aggressiveness with me, and his mother was pissed off. I could tell. I was getting their vibes that they were pissed. They want to make you feel guilty, and they want to make you feel shameful. And the words that came out of my ex-fiance's mouth were something along the lines of his mother would have said. His mother was brainwashing him again with all this, messed up stuff. If you go ahead and watch my video on the 12 signs of the narcissistic mother-in-law and what she may do to you, I bring up the time that, she will brainwash your partner to sabotage your relationship. And she was brainwashing my partner, telling my partner that, oh, I didn't want to be a part of the family, that, that's very disrespectful for me to say no, that, that's not what a good wife material is if she says no to you like that. And it is very cruel. And this is how, I'm going to do another full video on this, but this is how narcissistic mother-in-laws groom their sons to become misogynists. They brainwash their sons so bad against women. And then, the son also has so much resentment against his mother because his mother's freaking, obviously, narcissistic and toxic to him and treats him like he's a little sissy. But that's a whole nother video. But anyway, she was brainwashing him for him to be passive aggressive against me. And that is a big red flag that, that narcissistic mother-in-law is trying to sabotage your relationship also. So he was coming to me all passive aggressive saying, why did I say no? That was real disrespectful of me. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, this is real harsh on me, I'm thinking. But again, I was a codependent doormat, so I kept my mouth shut. I was passive. I did not assert myself. I just let it slide for that point in time. But when I found out that my narcissistic mother-in-law, there was this big family function, I guess. Somebody from their family was having a baby, and it was a big deal. And a lot of people from their family were going. And I went over her house one day and I was like, so are you going to this family function? And she's like, no, I'm not going. I don't feel like it. And that's when I got the vibe, like something is not right here. Because again, like I said, the narcissistic mother, that narcissist in general, their time is their time. So if they say no, it's a no. Nobody's going to fight them. Nobody's going to argue with them. But if you say no to the narcissist, all hell is going to break loose on their end. And this is what you guys got to pay attention to. Because the narcissist will guilt you and shame you for every single thing that they do. Don't ever feel ashamed for saying no. Don't ever feel ashamed for how you feel intuitively and how if your body needs a rest it. Especially if they are setting you up 2 to 3 hours late to go somewhere. That is a red flag. It's a huge red flag. If they make you feel guilty and shameful for that, while at the same time they're doing the same mess, they're not going to these family functions because they don't feel like it, because they feel tired. She gave me the excuse that, oh, I'm not going because I'm on my period. Now, if I would have said that, again, all hell would have broke loose. She would have had her son set up against me in a passive aggressive manner. She would have had a hissy fit with me. And that's exactly how they do it. So I caught on to that quick. That is what you guys need to catch on to. So when I caught on to that, I'm like, this doesn't add up. And she tried to do it to me another couple times. And the next time she tried to do it, I didn't go. when she tried to, they did this family function. It was literally like 5 hours before the event again. And I didn't go. I didn't feel like going, so I didn't go. I was like, you're not about to be a hypocrite and do something and then get mad at me for doing that same thing. Nuh-uh. Okay? And again, in the point of view of the narcissistic mother-in-law, she's going to do this to you to make you look bad in front of the family. Because the second I said no the second time, boy, she smeared me to the family that I was no good again. Not only to her son, but now she was telling this to the family that I had no respect, that, that I don't like the family, and that's why I didn't end up showing up. They will put on such a big mindset victim, everything that you do becomes, if you say no, it becomes a huge problem and you're going to get smeared. You're going to get so smeared to the family, again, that you're this disrespectful, you don't know how to be a good wife, this and that. And the family is going to be against you, most of them. The ones that aren't stupid might catch on, but again, those flying monkeys, those close family members to the narc, they're going to look at you, they're going to give you dirty looks, they're going to make you, feel like you're not adequate enough, and that's exactly what the narcissist's agenda is. That narc mother-in-law is out to make her agenda for the family not to like you, because you taking the spotlight is not good enough for her. That's not working for her. Her and her pathological envy will not have that. And she does these things purposely. So, I was like, I didn't even feel resent at that point because, again, I caught on to it. The last time before I broke up with the ex and, went no contact with that narc mother-in-law, they tried to do this again. They gave me like an 18-hour notice that they were having this big Christmas party. And mind you, they're from a religion that doesn't even celebrate Christmas. So how was I supposed to know that they were having a Christmas party? Okay, they're from a religion that doesn't celebrate Christmas. So I'm thinking like, wait a minute. They're having a huge Christmas party, yet they don't celebrate Christmas, and then they're only giving me an 18-hour notice. At that point, I was like, and I was in the state of mind at this point in the part of the relationship where I was so emotionally and mentally drained. I was in a depressive, numb state. I was literally mentally ill from what was going on in the relationship and just, being battered down. I didn't even know it was narcissistic abuse at this point in time, but I knew I was just mentally not right. So I said I wasn't going to go. I said I was sick, which literally, I was not lying. I was mentally sick. I was physically sick. I was emotionally sick. And when I did this was the last straw for the narcissist. That narcissistic mother broke all hell loose. She got all the family members. She said I was not going to be the wife for her son. I was not going to be the one because I'm trying to tear apart their family and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that just because I was depressed and did not want to show up. She had everybody against me. But for her on her period, if she didn't want to go somewhere, it was totally okay and nobody made a hissy fit out of it. This is what you guys got to pay attention to. The narcissist will make you guilty and feel remorseful and smear you and call you every name in the book that you are no good. Every negative name in the book, and make you feel like you're unworthy and make you feel like you have no respect and you are not good enough. And they do that for the sole purpose of making you look bad in front of the family because you are a compassionate, respectful, kind human being. And by the end of it, they actually make you feel like maybe I don't have respect. Maybe I'm just not a good person. Maybe I just don't like to be around people. But no. That's not the truth. The truth is the narcissist is a lying, criticizing, hypocritical, no good, abusive hypocrite. That for the same thing that you want to do, right? It is a problem because they want to break you down. They want to make you just as insane as they are. They want to make you seem like you are a no good person. And you have no respect. Because if they do this, then they have, again, the control. The narcissist wants to paint the picture of you. The narcissist wants that control of you. So if they're able to paint you however you are, And if they have to do that to purposely set you up, to invite you late to places and to smear you to the family, they control that image of you to others and to yourself if you start to believe it. Don't believe it. Snap out of it. Snap out of it, because that narc, the second that you see them doing what you would do, and there's no issue with it from anybody's side, but when you want to do that, it's a problem, get out. Get out. That's a huge red flag. That means you're dealing with one of the biggest hypocritical narcissists, and these narc mother-in-laws will do it all the time. They will paint themselves like the queen and paint you like you are the witch. When it's the reverse. You are the queen and they are the witch. So again, thank you again for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoy it. Share, like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. Leave your comments and questions in the comment section down below. I hope to see you to the next video. I appreciate it. Peace and love.